Hi, everyone, welcome to Style3D channel. In this video, I'll show you how to rabbit hair rendering optimization. So let's get started. First we need to set a render type of fur to the garment, and change the fabric color. Then adjust the parameters based on the preset one. Set hair parameters that roughly match. After that, we can do some adjustments according to the effect. Selected fabric. Adjust fabric color to slightly yellowish. Change the render type to fur, render only. Change the fur preset to rabbit. Change the colors. Adjust until it resembles the reference picture. Click to offline render. Observe the fur rendering effect. Click region. Select the area where we needs to see the effect. Then the render speed will faster. Compare and observe. Some place of the hair is too white. It means the glossiness is too high. The higher the glossiness of the hair, the stronger the reflection. Reduce glossiness parameter to 0.3. Observe the rendering effect again. Now the hair is not as white as before, but the hair shape is shorter and thinner. So we need to increase the length and thickness of the hair. Increase hair length to 22 mm. Increase hair thickness to 0.22 mm. Render again. We can see that the effect of hair length and thickness is relatively close. However, it is still relatively slender compared to the reference image. The sharpness of the hair is controlled by the taper. The taper value determines the difference in thickness of the hair end and top. So reduce the taper of the hair to 0.9. Compared to the reference image, the hair through to each other. This could be due to the hair is too curl. The curl of the hair is controlled by two parameters. The radius controls the degree of curling. Amount controls the number of turns a single hair curls. So that two parameters together determine the curly appearance of the hair. Change the curl radius and amount to 0 to turn off the curl effect. Render again. We can see that there are fewer crossovers between the hairs. Compare the hair inside. The fur in the reference image is more slanted to the right. We can change the direction of the curl hair by increasing the gravity parameter. The larger the positive value of the vector x, the more the hair bends to the right. Set the vector x parameter to 0.3 and simulate again. You can see that the hair in the reference image is more uneven. Increase the irregular parameters of length and thickness so that the hair does not look too neat. Variance is the parameter that controls the effect of irregularities in fur. The higher the value, the more irregular the fur, and vice versa. Increase length to 0.2 and thickness to 0.15. Render to view the effect. Hair looks too far apart. Increase the density parameter to 1500. To make the hair look more irregular, set the direction parameter in the variance to 0.3. And increase the density of hair to 2000. Render to view the effect. Observe that the hair on the right collar faces to the right, which is different from the reference picture. Stop rendering, switch the view. Select the right collar and use Generate New Fabric in the right-click menu. Select the new fabric and named it right for easy distinction. Set the vector x parameter to -0.2. The direction of the hair on the right collar is still more to the right. Adjust the vector x parameter of the pulling force to -0.5. Render to view the effect. Now the right collar is better. Compared with the reference picture, the hair on the left collar is too flat and lacks the effect of random turning up. We can control the hair by adding maps. Here we can add length, thickness, bend, density, gravity, curl, initial direction, bend direction maps. Length, thickness, bend, density, and curl are controlled by lightness. The initial direction and the bending direction controlled by the RGB value. The initial direction map only controls the direction of the hair, and does not affect the degree of bending. The bend direction map affects the direction of hair bending. Select the left collar and click on the right-click menu to generate new fabric. Rename the fabric. Select the newly generated fabric and find the maps area. Click the plus sign to add. The pattern presents an irregular combination of different colors. Can make hair appear in an irregular direction. We can click on the texture parameter to see the properties. Set the width to 50 for try. The rendering effect under this parameter is a bit black. Set the angle to 45 degrees and the width to 20 centimeters and try again. The effect at this time is more appropriate. However, the raised parts of the hair are still somewhat dense, and the hair is messy in length. Change the width of the texture to 30 centimeters. Increase the variance direction value. Reduce variance length value. Now the rendering effect is more natural. Turned up parts is closer to the effect of the reference picture. Then make the turned up effect on the right collar. Select the fabric to add the initial direction map, and render again to view the effect. To compare and found that there are more hair gaps, and we can continue to increase the hair density. Select the left and right collar fabrics and change the hair density to 2500. After adding the initial direction map, the hair is more obvious towards the left. Duplicated with the pull effect added earlier, it became too curved to the left. So change the parameter of the vector x to 0. At this time, there are too many shadows in the hair, so make the initial direction map smaller. Now the hair on the right collar is facing 2 downward. Change the parameter of the vector y to -0.9. Set the curl radius to 0.8 and the curl amount to 0.2. Make the hair look more irregular. In this way, the effect of the hair on the right collar is completed. Next, look at the folded part inside. The hair in the reference picture is thicker and rounder. So increase the thickness of the fur to 0.25 and reduce the taper to 0.85. This way the shape of the hair is closer. Refer to the picture. There are more gaps in the bottom of the hair and the density is lower. So add a density map to the hair. Control the density of hair in different areas. Switch to the 2D window. Use the pan tool to measure the length of the pattern. Adding a density map. Since the density map is controlled by lightness, so the gradient map with white on the top and black on the bottom makes the top of the hair denser. Lower density appears smaller. Set the texture parameter slightly larger than the pattern length. Make sure the map can cover the pattern. We can see there are more gaps at the bottom of hair. Compare the rendering effect with the reference image. Found the shadow a bit heavy. Change the length in the variance and thickness to 0. Direction value changed to 0.5. Since the right inner is not exposed, Added density map, no use for the hair above. So delete the density map inside. Restores inner hair density to average. Next, do the wrinkle effect on the left pattern. Select the left piece. Generate new fabric. Then select the right piece to generate a new fabric. Then select both left and right fabrics. Add an initial direction map. As can be seen, this initial direction map is about the wrinkle effect. So when added to the fabric, set the width of the initial direction map to 45 centimeters. The next step is based on the rendering effect. Constantly adjust hair parameters and map parameters. Wrinkles are too large at this parameter. Looks unnatural. Change the width of the initial direction map to 40 centimeters. And compared with the reference image. Hair is too long and thick. In order to make the direction of the hair more neat, change the length in variance to 0.1. Let's take a look at the current overall hair rendering effect. The effect of the body and collar is quite good. But the effect of the sleeves is not good enough. Select the sleeve. Generate new fabric. Based on the current hair effect, just add some unevenness. Add an initial direction map. Hair at the bottom of the sleeves appear more curved. At the top is straighter, so add the bend map. Since the bend map is controlled by lightness, so the map of black on top and white on the bottom makes the top of the hair appear straighter. Set the width of the bend map slightly larger than the height of the pattern. The effect of unevenly turned sleeves completed. Finally, let's do the effect of the back hair. Select the back pattern. Use Generate New Objects in the right-click menu. Adds the initial direction map. Set the width of the initial direction map to 60 centimeters. Uncheck Lock View, the render effect. You can see that the hair on the back has an irregular effect. Now look at the front effect. The front body has some natural wrinkles. But the areas without wrinkles are still too flat, and a little adjustment. Select the fabric on the left and add the bending direction map. The bending direction map added here is the same as the initial direction map on the collar and sleeves. The bend map is different from the initial direction map, and the bend map can control the direction of the hair. When the fabric has an initial direction map, you can also add a bend map to optimize the effect. Now you can see that the front piece also has a little uneven flip. Finally, do the render. Take a look at the final effect. That's it, guys, and I hope some of the tips will help your modeling work. If you like what we do, please liking, commenting, and sharing this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in next video. Goodbye.